Okay, for this tutorial, we're going to create a garden flag. This is a really fun digital product to offer to those on Etsy, if you sell on Etsy, or if you have a website, or if you want to do sublimation, if you already do sublimation, if you do DTF, all of that. I used to make garden flags with my DTF printer. Loved it. Absolutely loved making garden flags. And it is garden flag season, which is spring, right? So we're all planting gardens and planting flowers and things. Everybody needs a pretty garden flag to go in their yard. And another thing too, you can offer custom garden flags with like the person's, like for instance, mine would be the Martins, you know. So we're going to create this garden flag right here. And I'm going to show you the dimensions you need, the whole steps I did to create this, how I got the butterflies to pop, which you probably already know. But we're going to create this right here. You should have in your files my new pearl brush. That is something that I created to use for masking or doing something like this, or working with something that is like a beach theme, whatever you want to use for it. Okay, so we're going to go to our gallery. We're going to pull this up right here. You're going to hit this plus sign at the top right corner. Then you're going to hit this black button right here. You're going to click on that, and you're going to make sure you change your size to inches. And you're going to put in your width, you're going to put 12. In your height, you're going to do 18. Okay, so click done. That gives you, that's your DPI is 300. Your maximum layers is 23. So that's how many layers you can use. All right, so you're going to hit create, and it's going to bring up our full canvas here. That is the full size of a garden flag. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my reference box up, and I'm going to bring over my garden flag. That way I can make sure that I am creating the exact same one. And I'm going to bring it in like this. That way, if I need to pull a color over, as far as the background color that I have behind the pearls and behind the plaid image here, I can just tap on that and grab that color. Okay, so in layer 1, you're going to add that background color. And I believe it's the color I already have up here, but I'm just going to make sure. So I'm going to tap here. Okay, no, it was not. It gives me an kind of like a goldish color, a yellow orange is what it says. Okay, so I have my color selected, and I'm going to drop that color here. Okay, so this will be our background color, and you can rename these if you want to. You don't have to, it's perfectly fine. Okay, layer 2, I'm going to rename. This is going to be our image. So we're going to bring over the image that I had used, and as you can see, it comes in small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this out, and I don't want it completely covering the whole thing. As you can see over here, turn my snapping on. I want it to, I'm going to click on freeform, and I want to drag it down to where it is giving me some of that gold or yellow orange underneath. Just like that. Now I may move it around a little bit. Not sure yet. When I add the pearls, I may squeeze it in a little bit more. So now we have that image completed. So we're going to add the pearls now. And you should have your pearl brush. And what you're going to do is, what I'm going to do is change my color to white. And I'm going to turn this sideways because I can draw better this way. Make sure I'm at the size that I want. Yes, and I'm going to do a straight line across, hold it so it can snap in place. And I don't want it to be all the way across the edge. I want it to be where it is just, I don't want it falling off the edge. I want it to be where it's just touching or almost touching the edge. Okay, and make sure my line is straight. What I'm going to do now, and I like it where it's at. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to duplicate that, and I'm going to bring the other one down to the bottom. So I'm just going to drag it down, and my snapping is on, so I will be able to center it. Let me bring that distance down a little bit. Just like that. Make sure I'm good on the edges. Okay. So now I have my pearls on top and bottom. Okay. So I'm going to group these together and I'm going to rename them pearls. I'm going to add a new layer. The next thing that I do, I'm going to bring this new layer down above our plaid image. So I'm going to put plaid image here. And the layer that I brought down, which actually you can do this. If you're wanting to put something just on top of this, like your image or on top of something, make sure you click on that and then add the layer so the layer will be right above it. Okay, so I'm going to turn that into a clipping mask. I'm going to bring this over, find my honey drip, and I'm going to bring my honey drip up here and I'm going to pull it all the way to the edges, just like that. But as you can see, I'm not really touching the edges good, so I want to make sure if I go off a little bit, that's fine. But I want it to cover the edges there. So now I have my honey drip. What I did with this one is I duplicated my honey drip. And with my duplicate layer, I clicked on the end and I did multiply. And then I went up to my magic wand, hit Gaussian blur, blurred it up to about 6%. Hit my select tool and bring it down just a little bit because I want a little bit of a shadow behind. You see that shadow there? I want it behind the honey drip, just like that. It kind of makes it pop more. Okay, so now we have my honey drip done. Oop, did not want that. So now we have my honey drip done. So we're gonna group all of this together, just like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start bringing in my elements. And then Hello Spring will be kind of in the middle of that. Not the completely last thing that I do. I think the last thing that I did was the butterflies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new layer. And I'm going to bring over, let's see, we go to all images. I'm going to bring over my flowers first. Let me go find them. Here we go. So I'm going to bring over my flowers first, and my flowers go right here on top of, let me show you. There we go. So right here, like sitting on the edge of our plaid background there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to hit my select tool and I'm going to flip horizontally. And I'm going to bring that one over to this side. Just like that. Okay, so now we have those, so we can group those together. And actually, I'm not going to group yet because I may have to move them around a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to add my honey jar. And my honey jar goes directly in the middle at the bottom. I'm going to turn on my snapping so I can make sure that I am centered at the bottom there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, because I didn't want the bees surrounding the honey jar, so I'm going to erase those bees. Just like that. Okay. So now I have my honey jar. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to put that layer underneath my honey jar because I'm going to now draw my bee trail or bee line, whatever you want to call it. I used ink bleed. I think it was in, I'm not sure which folder it is here. Yes, okay, so it's an inking. I use the ink bleed to draw my little lines because I want it to have that watercolor type look. So See if I can get it the size that I had. Is that the right one I used? I may have done a little adjusting to this one. Okay, yeah, probably did. So I'm gonna try to create the same one, the same beeline that I had going on here. You know, if you're trying to draw something like that again, nothing's ever gonna be the exact same. So I'm gonna do my best to try to draw the exact same one. Okay, let's see, let's put one right there. Okay, totally different direction, but it's okay. All right, so now we're going to add a new layer, and I'm going to bring over my bee. And I'm going to take my bee, and it's going to go, I might have to cover these up a little bit because I have to put Hello Spring still there. So I'm going to bring my bee down, and I'm going to set it right there. Okay, I'm not too crazy about my beeline here, so I love this one better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to this one, and I'm gonna find my beeline over here, and I'm gonna hit, let's see if I can copy it. Copy. And I'm gonna go back over here, and I'm gonna clear that, and I'm going to add paste. There we go. Okay. So if you want to copy something from something else, that's how you do that. If you need to pause it and go back and look at what I just did, that's exactly how you do that. Okay. So now we have that in place. Okay. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add Hello Spring. And I'm going to make sure that am I above my honey drip? Yes, I am above my honey drip. So I can put Hello Spring at the very top. So I'm going to type in the word hello, figure out what font I use there. There we go. So I use softball, and I got softball from defont.com. So if you like this font, you can get it on defont.com. Okay, I may maneuver it around just a little bit here soon. Okay, so I'm going to add my next text, which is spring. And I'm going to bring, not that big. I'm going to bring this over. Like I said, no two things are ever going to be the same. So me trying to recreate this design for the tutorial that I created, the design yesterday, is not going to be on point. Like, it's not going to be directly the same. Okay, because as you can see, my bee's a little smaller. I'm going to bring my bee up a little bit. Just a little bit bigger, because I want my bee to kind of stand out there. Okay, so now that I have that in place, so now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add my butterflies. And my butterflies are way down here. I'm going to add my butterflies. And I place one butterfly right here. And then I duplicate that butterfly, flip horizontally, and I place the other one up there. So we're coming together really nicely here. All right, so now I want these butterflies to stand out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate each butterfly, and I'm going to click on the one I duplicated, hit my magic wand, turn the brightness down, click off my magic wand, click back on my magic wand, hit Gaussian blur, and blur it up to about 10% looks fine to me. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate that because I want it to be a little darker. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to bring that brightness down, click off, click back on, Gaussian blur up to about 12. And I'm going to duplicate just like that. So now my butterflies are standing out a lot better. I also do the same thing with the jar down here. So with my honey jar, I duplicate, hit my duplicate, bring the brightness down, click off, click back on, Gaussian blur, and I just want it to stand out just a little bit. So I'm going to blur it to about 8%. Okay. And I believe that completes my design here. So now what you're going to do is we're going to save this as a PNG. So I'm going to hit this tool up here. I'm going to hit share. I'm going to hit PNG, and that's going to download that for me. And I'm going to save image. And then what I like to do is go over to Canva. And as you can see, I've created a mock-up. Okay. So I'm going to show you how I did this. So I went on Google and I typed in garden flag stand, and it brought this garden flag stand up for me, which has a white background. So what you're going to do is to remove that background, you're going to click on the image and hit background remover, and that removes the background for you. Okay. Then I go to elements and I type in spring background. Which one did I use? This one. Okay, I type in spring background, so I click on that one and I bring it over. If you don't have the Pro version, that's okay. You can find spring backgrounds without Pro. And I'm going to click on the 3 dots right here and click replace background, so that puts that in the background for me. I'm going to make the flag bigger and center it. Oop. Okay, just like that. So I'm going to hit upload. I already have mine here. So you would hit upload files and you would upload that. And what you're going to do is you're going to place your garden flag on the stand just like that. And watermark it, and there is your advertising photo. So bring it out for you. Just like that. So I hope you ladies enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask me. You know I'm always open for questions. But the garden flag absolutely looks amazing. This is a very pretty spring garden flag. It is on my Etsy shop. If you ladies want to purchase this one, you're more than welcome to. And I also do have my other garden flag, the pineapple one, on my Etsy shop as well. So please make sure that when you create your design that you post them in the membership group. I love to see what you create and what you come up with. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to message me.